can think yourself into a depression. You can think your way into stress. You can think your way into misery, frustration. There's so much more power in the mind than you probably like to give yourself credit for. Change your mind. Decide that you love yourself enough to not surround yourself with people, things, and situations that can have your mind continuing to spiral down this negative and dysfunctional train.
Once I feed you with an idea that you are susceptible to something, look, I can feed you with an idea that this pill that we just got from the pharmaceutical company, it's the greatest, best thing for your issue. And I give you this pill and you get better. And then later you find out it was a sugar pill and everybody goes, yeah, that's called the placebo effect. And I go, what does it really mean? I said, you didn't get healed by the pill, you got healed by the belief in the pill. And I go, well, yeah, that's what placebo is all about. And at least 1/3, minimum of 1/3 of all medical intervention is, it's a placebo effect where the healing comes from. Everybody goes, yeah, I know about the placebo. I go, yeah, but that's a result of positive thinking. What about negative thinking? And this is what we don't talk about, but the reality is it's equally powerful in regard to affecting your biology as is positive thinking, but it works in the opposite direction. A negative thought is called the nocebo effect. Can cause any disease and you can die. If you believe you're gonna die, you can die from the belief. So we really have to watch out because as psychologists would tell us, 70% or more of our thoughts are negative and redundant, replaying the same negative thoughts. I go, if thoughts had nothing to do with it, fine. But thoughts, positive or negative, shape our biology. And all of a sudden it says, well, now it's time to wake up because our negative thinking is manifesting a negative life experience.
Words are extremely powerful. You actually create your own laws and limitations for yourself, using the words that you use most often. The greatest teacher to ever live, the carpenter from the plains of Galilee, once said, by your words you are justified, and by your words you are condemned. He understood the spiritual properties words possessed. Rumor has it, the prime creator actually spoke the universe into existence, also known as cymatics or vibration. And remember, you are a piece of the creator and possess the same creative qualities. Never use phrases like, this is killing me, or this makes me sick. Though lighthearted, those are actual commands that are stirring energy in motion.
From the fruit of their mouth, a person's stomach is filled. With the harvest of their lips, they are satisfied. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit.
There are high energy words, and there are low energy words. High energy words attract to you positive people, positive situations, positive outcomes, positive circumstances. They also raise your health and the health and wellness of those listening.
From the fruit of their lips, people are filled with good things, and the work of their hands brings them reward. An honest witness tells the truth, but a false witness tells lies. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment.
Low energy words do the exact opposite. They attract all manner of negative situations and circumstances, and they have also been proven to lower your immune system, making you more susceptible to illness. Dr. Emoto's water experiment proved that words and intention actually have a physical impact on water.
Dr. Amato's laboratory does research on water samples which are subjected to various forms of outside influence. The impressions made upon the water are recorded by swiftly freezing it in a cryogenic chamber. Somebody said, "Thank you to this water." Excuse me. You disgust me. Idiot. I hate you. Love. Hope. Soul. Emoto Masaru's numerous experiments aimed at finding the word that cleanses water most powerfully have shown that it is not just one word, but a combination of two. Love and gratitude.
For whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceitful speech.
Jesus said that your words are spirit.
The Spirit gives life. The flesh counts for nothing. The words I've spoken to you, they are full of the Spirit and life.
It is the Spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and they are life. But there are some of you that believe not.
Faith comes by hearing. It's like when we say, I can do this, and then I set out to accomplish it. That it is the very words that when heard, because faith comes by hearing, that when you hear yourself saying these words, I can do this, that you actually can get the courage and the strength and the wherewithal to get something done. That's why it's not just important to think good thoughts. You have to speak those thoughts. If you want things to come out and you want them to be manifested into the world, if you have a thought within you, you need to speak that thought out. You need to create by speaking the very thing that you had within you. You need to bring somehow into this world and make it so. Think of it this way. A thought that is within you is not in this world. The thought that is within you is within you. It is only until you speak that thought and you give it a vibration in this world that it actually manifests. The scriptures say that God spoke and everything became. The scriptures say that every word that we speak will be judged accordingly. That we will be held accountable for everything that we say and everything that we think. This is why we must take every thought captive. Every thought that comes into our mind, it has the potential to create that thought in the world if manifested by the words that you speak. Your thoughts create. Your words make them become the very thing that you believe that they will be.
We all stumble in many ways. Anyone who is never at fault in what they say is perfect, able to keep their whole body in check. When we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. All kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures are being tamed and have been tamed by mankind. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With the tongue we praise our Lord and Father, and with it we curse human beings who have been made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing. My brothers and sisters, this should not be. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers and sisters, can a fig tree bear olives, or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water.
Dr. Emoto has conducted another interesting experiment. He placed rice into 3 glass beakers and covered it with water. And then every day for a month, he said, "Thank you" to one beaker, "You're an idiot" to the second, and the third one he completely ignored. After 1 month, the rice that had been thanked began to ferment, giving off a strong, pleasant aroma. The rice in the second beaker turned black, and the rice that was ignored began to rot.
Front is that we're going to say good, beautiful, positive things to the good apple and bad, nasty things to the bad apple. So I just took out my apples from the bad apple jar and the good apple jar. And as you can see, this is amazing. Even for the most skeptical ones out there, you have to admit that this is, and I have to admit, I was one of those that was a little skeptical, and I am in awe at what I'm seeing right now.
Odds. Try using 25 containers or even 50 containers. This works, and it shows that our thoughts literally shapes our lives.
I love you, Strawberry. Love, 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 love. I hate you, Strawberry. Hate, 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 hate you, hate. Love, 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 love. Hate, 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 hate. That looks completely normal. Look at the fungus, mold, disgustingness of the hate berry. Look at this thing.
People do things that annoy, disappoint, and anger. Though we cannot look into another's heart, we assume that we know a bad motive or even a bad person when we see one. This topic of judging others could actually be taught in a 2-word sermon. When it comes to hating, gossiping, ignoring, ridiculing, holding grudges, or wanting to cause harm, please apply the following. Stop it.
Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen.
Haven't we all, at one time or another, meekly approached the mercy seat and pleaded for grace? Haven't we wished with all the energy of our souls for mercy, to be forgiven for the mistakes we have made and the sins we have committed? Forgiving ourselves and others is not easy. In fact, for most of us, it requires a major change in our attitude and way of thinking, even a change of heart. This mighty change of heart is exactly what the gospel of Jesus Christ is designed to bring about.
I'm truly truly sorry.
Let us be kind. Let us forgive. Let us talk peacefully with each other. Let us do good unto all men.
But at the time, it just...
Allowing us to see others the way our Heavenly Father sees us, as flawed and imperfect mortals who have potential and worth far beyond our capacity to imagine. Because God loves us so much, we too must love and forgive. Remember, in the end, it is the merciful who obtain mercy.
Believe it or not, each word that you speak is an affirmation. You are always affirming that you want more of it into your life by speaking it, by placing your attention on it, by talking about it. Since that's the case, only talk about the joyous things that you would like to have and experience. And before you know it, those words will become an everyday part of your vocabulary.
Nobody likes you. No one notices when you're in the room.
You're a mistake.
You're useless. You're not even green.
You look rotten. Are you really even alive?
I like you the way you are. Seeing you blossom makes me happy.
You're making a difference in the world.
You are beautiful.
I brought them here to see the plant. I was like, a plant is getting bullied. Like, it's not normal.
I think it's an excellent project. To have something tangible that they can actually physically be a part of is, I think, going to be very powerful.
As the weeks passed, I started noticing that the one that was being bullied started kind of to droop.
While the plant that was being complimented, it was flourishing and beautiful.
It's raised the profile massively of different forms of bullying and the effects that bullying can have on people.
If it affects a plant, it can definitely affect other people.
The watchword for any type of health is something better. A lot of people think, well, for me to be healthy, I have to do this and this and this and this. Before you leave, in the back, you'll see a book. Years ago, I was going to, many of you heard of Kent State University. Well, years ago, I was in Ohio. I was going to Kent State University. And they took us to this room which had a computer in it, and it actually took the whole room for the computer. That was back in the 70s. I was taking nutrition at the time, and because of that, I was working on my postgraduate degree. I was really kind of discouraged because what they would say was okay to eat today, tomorrow it wasn't. I mean, everything was so wishy-washy. Well, I found out years later, a lot of the health advice that we get is actually because of advertising. It's not always true at all. So we're something better. If someone says, well, why do you do this or why do you do that? And they say, well, why don't you eat this? We say, well, I'm eating something better. Years ago, when I was like 24 years old, I came down with curriculum rice. And at the time, I was running like 8 miles a day. And I thought I had broken my ankle. So I went to the doctor and I said, I can hardly walk. And at night I would hold it and I would cry. I said, what is wrong? He x-rayed it. He said, I don't see how you can walk. Your ankle is totally ate up with arthritis. And I said, well, what can I do? He said, the only thing you can do is take aspirin and bury the baby. And I said, forget that. Because I have gotten a book. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a copy of this book. Before you leave, please pick it up. It's right there. This lady had shared with me a book. She knew I was into home economics, nutrition, health and education. And she said to me, I want you just to read this book and tell me what you think about it. And I thought, it surely can't have anything good in it. I was blown out of the water. It actually answered my quest for help. I thought, hey, this is solid. We can depend on it. My husband, have any of you heard of Atran? Well, my husband was like the 9th one that started Atran. And he hates with a passion to fly. He just does not like to fly. Because he's like 6'5". And you know, most companies don't want to give you first class. So they would always, they wouldn't send him unless he had to go. But there were times that companies would say, I want the design engineer here. I want the person who designed this to tell me what's wrong in the computer. Well, see, if we go with the design engineer of our body, and well, some of this is going to sound religious, but it's faith and health go hand in hand. Faith and health is between that person and God. You know, I personally do not claim any denomination, but I do claim, the scripture. But we're going to go on here. This is the perfect computer for running us. My son. And I taught him, I homeschooled my children from like forever. But anyway, then I got a job at UAH, and my children said, Mama, you follow us everywhere. Well, my son, when he was growing up, his dad got him a computer, and he became so proficient in it. And he would play these games, and I go, son, get off the computer. Stop playing that. But I know later on, when I needed to put a website up for my business, who did I ask? I asked my son. He says, Mama, do you remember how you used to complain to me for playing that Duke Nukem? I said, yes, I do. He said, well, Mama, I learned it by playing it. Well, matter of fact, he was with, he did gaming, and he came in like the third, his team came in like third in the world. Really, really good. His first year at UAH, this was back in quite a while back. His first year at UAH, the professor gets up there and he says, no one has ever been able to shut our system down. He was in a computer class. My son looked at him and smiled and shut the whole system down. Because how should you think? Well, he showed me. He was very proficient in computer science. He knew it by report because he did it. And I mentioned all this because what we do day by day, we learn more and we do more as we do it. Some people do not understand about computer science. They think, it's just, but you know, even breaking it down to understand the computer, the technology, But why they say that engineers should not be surgeons, but do you know, I know some students in my class who are actually engineers, and they went back, or they were studying to be doctors, and they went back to be engineers. Because we cannot shut the whole system down. Our brain is one of the biggest computers that we have. Your brain, they have never figured out exactly what all the brain does. But your stomach, they have found your stomach is your second brain. And you're like, what? How is it your second brain? Have you ever ate ice cream and your brain hurts?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Well, we store this information when you go to dream at night. And one of the 8 laws of health that we're going to be talking about will actually be about sleep. Sleep is so vitally important. Your body is always going to be in what they call homeostasis. A friend called me one day, and she said, my background is in home economics, nutrition, health and physical education, and like you, I switched around a lot of things. I'm also a personal trainer. And when I worked at the University Fitness Center, I wanted to, I would stretch my clients. And they told us, they said, no one can stretch the clients. And I said, why? And they told us, they said, you have to be a massage therapist because that is soft tissue manipulation. So I asked my husband, I said, I know I have my master's, but can I go back to school and become a massage therapist? He said yes. And that was like the cherry on the top because it grounded everything. And I kid you not, massage therapy, some people think it's hoochie-coochie. It was harder than getting my master's. You have to know the muscles, you have to know this, you have to know that. But in my later years, I started doing a lot of cycling. And have any of you heard of Alabama Women? I cycled with the Alabama Women as a cycling team. And with God's blessing, I came up #1 in the nation on criteria. And I'm saying all this, folks, because like years ago when I came down with arthritis, I begged God. I said, God, what can I do to get rid of this? And I've read this, read that, read this, read that, put it all together with God's help. My arthritis went away within months. No longer do I have any arthritis, and it has never came back. Your body is programmed to live, as that poster said right here. The great engineer, the creator, put healing in your body. That it will, like if you cut your hand right out, it will heal. It will heal. People don't always tell you this, but cartilage grows back, muscles grow back, all these things grow back. A few years ago, I was kayaking on Bear Creek, and I had a kayaking accident, and I went into a hole, a rock hole, 5 feet, and I broke my tibia. Well, I could not, we could not get cell phones, so anyway, we had cell phones, but we couldn't get reception. Anyway, they helped me get into my kayak, and we pushed the muscle back, so we made it eventually out. It was like 2 miles in, so we had to kayak out. But when I went to the hospital, the woman told me, she said, you have broken your bone. I said, no. Because I was teaching, and I teach water abilities still, and I teach swimming, and I also have my own business, which is called Rock Solid Health Fitness. I do personal training, nutritional counseling, and also massage therapy. I knew that if I were to take, like the doctor wanted to give me some type of painkiller, I said, no, don't give me anything. Because anytime, and I'm not saying we should never take painkillers, but anytime we take anything that will stop the pain as a drug, then it actually slows the healing process down. But I knew from teaching water aerobics, if I could get in the water, then my healing would speed up because I seen it over and over. So I asked the doctor, I said, well, can I go back to work tomorrow? She was flabbergasted. She said, we never had anyone to ask to go back to work with a broken bone right afterwards. I told her how where I worked. Well, I could not put any pressure on that bone for a long time, but I could get in the water. And see, when you're in the water, and there's a lot of doctors that send people to us, because when you're in the water, it moves the third fluid, which is a fluid in between the cells, and it speeds healing. Well, the one doctor told me when I went to the bone specialist, he said, you have pushed that cartilage. When you broke your leg, you pushed your cartilage and your knee totally down. He said, we're going to have to go in there and we're going to have to operate. I said, good, wait. I said, I will live the rest of my life before you come on. So anyway, so what did I do? My daughter put essential oils. How many know what essential oils? Okay, essential oils, and most of you know, these are oils that come from plants. That's what gives it the smell and gives it the taste. My daughter put essential oils on my feet, and I had no pain. No pain as long as she put those feet. I got in the water, and my healing process was very, very fast. But to make it short, within 6 months, that cartilage grew back so good that I did half a miracle. But I took 0 drugs, 0. This book, I told you about, I read, it actually said about drugs, that there's no such thing as a drug that heals. The body heals itself. So, since I was 24, I have not taken aspirin, I have not taken Alka-Seltzer, anything. And they have actually found, a lot of people are taking aspirins now. The aspirins are actually causing brain bleeding, which is bleeding to all organs. So there is basically 8 codes that our body has. And the sheep out there is going to explain it forward. There's water, and you should eat only good food. Whenever you eat all energy comes from the sun, all right? So whenever we eat a plant, we're getting our food first hand. But if we eat something that comes from an animal, we get it second hand. And when you get anything second hand, you can get the disease from that animal. Leukemia is rampant today in children. People do not realize how many children are dying of leukemia. But you know one of the biggest sources of leukemia is from cow's milk, because pasteurization does not kill it. Love fresh air, love God and your neighbor. Never partake of that which is not the best. Exercise, sleep, and sunshine. And we're going to go over these books. A lot of people think, well, that was old. We can't go by scripture. But folks, Moses, if you read this, Moses actually had it together. But even a lot of people will say, and we'll go to the next one, a lot of people will say, well, the great engineer only gave health laws to Jewish folks. No, if you read in Genesis, he actually told Noah, he said, I want you to bring unclean and clean animals. He gave it to all of us, all of our bodies. And pork is still unclean. If you go to my website, which I have part of there, you'll see a video which is very, very interesting. It will show you that the trichina worm, and I've done a PowerPoint on it, it is not killed with microwave. A lot of times it can survive microwaving. At one study they did, they actually cooked the pork. This is what they're always telling me. Well, just cook the pork till it's good and done. Well, this one university found they put the pork till it was 500 degrees and it still had the little zucchini worm in it. And you think, well, what's the big deal about the zucchini worm? The thing about pork, why it is so bad, it is the one thing that can affect every cell of your body. Why? Because that little zucchini worm actually goes into the muscle. And you know, one of your big muscles is your heart. This doctor I used to work for, I did the nutritional counseling for his patients. When he was doing internship out at Loma Linda University, he had to do the autopsies on all the patients that died of heart attacks. He was amazed. Every person he did a did an autopsy on had that little zucchini. Trachina actually it can live in your system for years and not hurt you, but then all of a sudden, and they don't know why, it will just go. Do not eat blood. Your blood is almost like a blueprint of your life. It's what keeps you healthy. If you don't have pure blood, then you will become sick. You will become sick. Disease is basically an effort of some of your system trying to heal itself. Let me ask you, is pain good or bad? It's good. It really is. I want you to think of, all right, let's say the smoke alarm goes off in here. What are we going to do? You're going to leave. All right? Somebody will come and check to see if there's a fire. Yes, somebody will come and check. But we're going to leave. Whenever we have pain, that is our smoke alarm saying, hey, you need to do something. You need to stop doing what you're doing. Like if you just cross your leg, sometimes what happens to your feet? They go to sleep. All right, and your brain will start saying, wait a minute, that hurts. So you want to cross your leg. But see, what a lot of people do, instead of correcting the problem, they'll burn the house down. And how do you burn the house down? You mess up the central nervous system. All right. We are what we think, breathe, eat, and do. This lady right here, both of these ladies are 74 years old. We have a choice, folks. Are we going to take care of our bodies, or are we going to let our bodies go down? Now, I'm not saying that there's always different circumstances, okay, and we can't judge. Because one lady might have had to stay with her children, grandchildren, and all. You know, but we can all work it. One of the first rules is water. Our body is a lot of water. When I started cycling, a lot of cyclists told me to prevent cramps, drink beet juice. Do you know what beet juice is? And so I looked it up in my nutrition book. I thought, why is beet juice good for muscle cramps? It feeds your muscles. When I did nationals, I did 3 races in 3 days, and my muscles were so tight, I drank a whole quart of that juice. Water. If you want to have good health, first thing in the morning, drink at least a pint to a quart of pure water. Room temperature. Do not drink ice water. What this does, it's almost like giving your insides a bath. It starts your whole day out. It will help your thinking, everything. Because the reason is your body will absorb water and it's going to go into your system. It cannot absorb it cold. It will not go into the bloodstream cold. It will kill you. Your body has to always have homeostasis. It's got to be a certain temperature. Now, if it changes temperature, it will usually have some kind of infection. Like it's usually 98.6, or it can go up to 100 and more. How many of you heard of the energy drinks like Red Bull? look up on the internet sometime how they make Red Bull. Do you know how they call it Bull? Once you look it up, there's not a better word than gross. It's gross, what they put in it. But the really bad thing about Red Bull, the caffeine. Caffeine is what they call a neurotoxin. It will destroy your nervous system. We have 5 senses. Our 5 senses are all connected to our nervous system. You have like a lot of people say, well, you know, I gotta have my coffee in the morning. If you drink that water in the morning, and you wait like 20 minutes and get some good organic oranges, squeeze them, and drink that juice, it will wake your whole system up better than coffee. And plus, it won't give you that damage. You can ask truckers who use a lot of caffeine. It comes up and it brings you down. Sodas, only like the little right here where you see about you wouldn't give all this junk to a plant because it would kill the plant. But we give it to our children. I know one lady that actually put Pepsi in the baby's bottle. Really? You know you're killing me? But heart attacks, how many of you have ever been to one of the cardiac units at Huntsville Hospital? You'll see a big sign that says, no caffeine, because it works on the heart. But here again, something bad. What would you use? You could use fresh squeezed orange juice. You're going to get your vitamin C. And how many of you know what scurvy is? All right, it's a vitamin C deficiency. People in the old days, millions of people died. It was a horrible, horrible death. And all they needed to do was eat an orange because it was just a lack of vitamin C. Well, I'm going to show you in a few minutes the same thing is about cancer. It's just a vitamin deficiency. All right. Foods that heal the kidneys. Kidney dialysis is no picnic. Folks, how can you tell if you're getting enough water? Right, sometimes your fingernails and also your urine. Your urine should be pale clear. And if it's a dark orange, you wear your kidneys out. But all of these actually help to heal your kidneys. And you think, the father of modern medicine, Hippocrates, we've all heard of Hippocrates. He said, make your food your medicine your food. Cold showers. Cold showers are called cryotherapy. Now, if you take a nice warm shower and then you finish off with cold, what you're doing is you're flushing your system. Some people will tell you, and it's actually true, and I ask a lot of my clients, I said, do you take a bath or do you take a shower? There's a giant difference between a shower and a bath. One naturopath used to say, throw away your shower curtain, get in the tub. Because when you get in the tub, you're actually moving cells in the body. So if you wanted to take, and like if you take a handful of Epsom salt, put it in a nice hot bath, put a cold washcloth on your head or the back of the neck, because this is like the central processing. You do not want the head overheating. But soak in there. What this actually does, it starts pulling toxins out of your body. This doctor I told you I work for, clients who come to him, they have cataracts. And he would tell his patients, he said, I want you to take a handful of Epsom salt or Dead Sea salt and soak it, and of course put the cold washcloth in it. And do you know within 6 months their cataracts disappeared? Because what was happening, their body was water. Your skin is your very biggest organ. And whatever you put on your skin is absorbed. This is why, like, when I do massage therapy, I always put oil on the bottom of the feet when I first start. because that oil will go through the whole system in order for people to rise. Have you ever gotten sick from after you ate something?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to pass this around and let you, can I let you come up and let you look at this? Activated charcoal. Have any of you heard of activated charcoal? Okay. You know they use this in hospitals. Now these are activated charcoal tablets. If you were out and you think you had food poisoning, if you were having diarrhea, or if you were vomiting, Dr. Thrash wrote a book on charcoal. You would take like 10 of these, and you have to probably do it 4 times. Whenever I go to a baby shower, I always give the mother a book about activated charcoal, and then I give her activated charcoal, and then I give her something pretty. But do you know what she always hears later, thanks me for? The activated charcoal. My little daughter got into some Ajax one time. I was cleaning the tub, and somebody called on the phone, and so I had to give her. Our neighbor got into fire ants, and within seconds, he swelled so bad that he could hardly breathe. He was gasping for breath. And we lived like an hour away from him in the hospital. So my neighbor called me, and she had put it on the outside, but she hadn't got it in. So we mixed some, and we helped him, and we poured it down. Right after we got it down, he started breathing normal. Then we put it in the car, and we speeded to the hospital. And the doctor told us, if you guys had not gotten it done, he would have died. I thought, I believe it, because his whole windpipe was just totally closed down. If it came from a plant, eat it. If it is made in a plant, don't. Folks, there's a difference. The more they process things, how many of you know what enzymes are? Enzymes are like a catalyst that helps the nutrients to be absorbed into your body. We are born with so many enzymes, but as we eat a lot of cooked food, we start using up those enzymes. And the only way we start replacing them is with raw food, like raw fruits, nuts, grains, and vegetables. Thomas Edison said, the doctor of the future will not prescribe medicines, but rather will focus on the remedies for the human frame and the prevention of diseases. Is this what modern medicine is doing today? No. It's a drug culture. Now this is not a trick question. And then the next thing is we should eat only good food. Folks, what we eat today, we will eat tomorrow. That's it. What nutritional value is there in a drug? Or how much nutrition, let me ask you this. What nutritional need is there in the body for a drug? None. Drugs are totally foreign to the body will fight the drug and then kill us. I'm not saying if you're out there and you're hit by a Mack truck that you should not, get anesthetics as they're working on you, because you can actually go into shock and die. But for let's say you have an upset stomach, you can use charcoal. Ginger, they have found that ginger will actually settle a stomach better than any type of drugs they have. Now notice the different foods, more reasons to eat fruits. My daughter and I went on a fruit weekend, we went on a fruit diet one time. And a fruit is something that has seeds in it, watermelon fruit. But you'd be missing if you ate just fruits. But see, fruits also, like grain is a type of fruit. There was nothing we would miss except iodine if the soil did not have it in it. But if the soil had it in it, we have no problem. There are a lot of people today they're having thyroid problems, and they're having problems with their iron. Do you know a lot of these x-rays that people are getting is actually destroying their thyroids? And a lot of doctors will say, well, I'm going to put them on iron pills. Folks, vitamins, I'm not saying it's not okay to take them occasionally, but if you take something every day, you can mess up your body metabolism. Instead of taking an iron pill, you can take these things. This doctor I told you I work for, people would have massive strokes and they'd come to me. He would put them on black strap molasses. If you ever think you're about to have a stroke, and many times before you have a stroke, you'll start slurring your words, you'll droop, many different things like this. Take it, a couple tablespoons of black strap molasses. It's got micronutrients in it, and it feeds the brain. High protein foods. There is a big lie, and you can check it out. It's a lie that you have to have animal products for protein. Matter of fact, they have done studies and they have found that when people have osteoporosis and they put them on calcium tablets, which come from animal source, and they put them on milk, their osteoporosis gets worse. Because you actually can come down, you get too much protein. The calf and the cow are made for each other. We were never made to drink cow's milk. Too much protein will mess you up. But if you get the protein from the vegetable, it is 10 times better for you. The body can absorb it naturally, or the body actually fights whenever we get it from animal protein. And some people will say, well, how about breast milk? Breast milk is excellent for a baby because that is where they're the same species. Now thinking of something better. Now one of the things I had to do when I came down with arthritis was give up white sugar. The doctors in Birmingham, what they will do a lot of times, and people come in with arthritis, they'll tell them, get off the white sugar, use honey. Honey actually has an oil in it that lubricates the joints. White sugar is a poison. There is zero nutrition in it. But you will find it almost in your life. Be a label reader. What is good? There is actually people who have had real like third-degree burns, and they'll put raw honey on there, and the skin is burned back. And you can look that up on YouTube. It's amazing. How many of you heard of vitamin B17? This is your homework. Go to YouTube. See how many videos are out there on massive amounts. But you won't hear about the American Medical Society. Do you know what they do to doctors that actually prescribe this? They put them in jail. And if you go to my website, you will see where this one young man, he came down with cancer. He had it so bad. And he went through chemo and all this kind of stuff. And they said, okay, you're healed. Well, this doctor I used to work for, people from all over the world would come to him with cancer. And he would put him on vitamin B17, apricot seeds. And he would say, people don't realize the cancer, it actually gets into like the blood. Like if you have cancer of the breast, well, just because you cut the breast off doesn't mean that you're going to eradicate it. You got to, here again, we go back to the smoke alarm. You got to see, where is the fire? What are we going to do about it? We're going to put it on. Well, anyway, going back to this young man, he had, supposedly they said his cancer was gone. Well, he went through chemo. Chemo, do you know where chemo comes from? Chemo comes from our liver stones. The doctors who give chemo do not give chemo when they come in with cancer. Chemo is very bad. It destroys your system. So what this young boy did, he said, I am not, the boy came back down from cancer. He said, I'm not going to go through chemo again, I'm not going to do this. So he searched it out on the internet. And you know, we're blessed that we have the internet because we can find out things from all over the world. Before people had internet, it was like, well, you had to go to the library or you had this and that. Well, what this boy did, he started eating apricot seeds. Now, it's really, you see right there the apricot? Well, there's a seed in the apricot. You crack that seed, and it's an apricot kernel that you eat. These are very potent. There is, how many of you have heard of the Hamza people? They're over in Pakistan. They never get cancer, never, because they eat a lot of apricot seeds. Now, you also get this in apple seeds, and people say, wait a minute, apple seeds have arsenic in them. Yes, they have it in it, but it's in the package, the way the creator, the way the great engineer put it. So what happens when you eat apple seeds with your apple, then the arsenic actually goes around with the vitamin B17, attacks only one cell. Do you know what cell it attacks? The cancer cell, and takes it out of the body. We had a naturopath who was speaking at one of our meetings one day, and he stayed with us. And he was eating an apple. He said, well, do you know how to eat an apple? Well, yeah, I know how to eat an apple. He says, and he showed me, he said, Dee, people throw away the part that really need to eat. Eat it all, but eat the seeds. Now, you do not want to save all the seeds and eat them all at once. No, you eat them with the apple. All right, but all of these have vitamin B17 in them. Look it up on the internet. A world without cancer. Folks, back in the 50s, there was a doctor who was in the U.S. Senate and told them what he was doing to get rid of cancer. Now, if you say the word C-U-R-E, they would actually pass the law. If you say this will cure this or this will cure that, you can actually be put in jail. So you don't say that. Lemon juice, bone-related lemon juice. First thing in the morning, you squeeze the lemon, fresh lemon, in your water and you drink it. It's amazing what it does to your body. I had a client that came in and she had very, very bad skin problems. And she was a doctor. And I told her, I said, drink lemon water first thing in the morning. What you do is you squeeze a fresh lemon in the water and you drink it. Lemon, it is acidic when it's raw. But then when you drink it, it actually makes the body alkaline. And you want your body to be more alkaline. You don't want it to be acidic. When it's acidic, then that's when you can come down with diseases. Disease cannot live in an alkaline body. And a lot of people will say, well, you know, I can't drink it because I have acid reflux. It will actually prevent acid reflux because it will neutralize the acid. And a lot of acid reflux is caused by drinking with your meals. Do you know the best time to drink your food? Drink at a meal 20 minutes before, and then eat your food, and then wait 2 hours later. The reason being because this acid is in our stomach. It is very, very acidic, but when you mix it with water, it dilutes it, and your food does not digest like it should. How many of you like chocolate? And we've all heard how good chocolate is for you. Well, chocolate has a cousin, caffeine, called bilirubin. There have been women who have had different problems with their breast, and by just getting off the chocolate, it won't work. But there is something better. How many of you ever heard of carob? Carob is packed with good nutrients. It is considered the superfood. A lot of the athletes use it. You can use it instead of chocolate. It's not going to taste exactly like chocolate, but you can give it to your child. You never have to worry about it getting all hot. When I used to teach grade school, I had this one little boy, he was just a itty bitty boy. But I'll tell you what, he was one of the hardest children. And I looked at his lunch one day. You know what his mother was sitting in? A big chocolate candy bar. That big. I thought, no wonder he can't sit still. Now, folks, this thing, attention deficit and all this kind of stuff, a lot of it just has to do with diet. And children don't need to be sitting all day in the chair. They need to be outside, exercising. They're little. I mean, we can't stand and sit a long time. Love fresh air. Dr. Agatha Thrash, many of you have heard of her. She's a world-renowned doctor from Seal, Alabama. And this works. If you think you're coming down sick, go outside, take 10 deep breaths. What this does, this puts extra oxygen into the system, and 9 times out of 10 you will not progress. It really, really works. But we do have places that have sick, you might say they're sick buildings. You know, they have mold and all this. How many of you know what those salt, you've seen those salt blow lamps? Do you know those actually take a lot of that stuff out, the mold and things? All right, the smell of an orange relieves stress. Can you believe that? Over 70%. Now, what is the name of Vanderbilt? You've all heard of Vanderbilt up there? Vanderbilt uses the essential orange oil, and they have found that the stress relief on the clientele is amazing, like the nurses. But I'm going to share with you, this is the orange, and this is the thieves. Who knows what thieves are? Okay. We have one person, that's good. You do. I always tell my clients, if you are going overseas, if you're traveling, take these with you. The Black Plague, how many remember what the Black Plague was? It was horrible. During Muriel England's time, people were dying right on that from the Black Plague. So there were these were spice dealers. They would not allow us to leave the city. So they actually read in the scripture what to do. So they would put these oils on them. And then they would go, and they would, like somebody died right there, and they had the jewels on them. You didn't touch them because you automatically would get sick. Well, these guys were putting this oil on them, and they would get sick. Well, eventually, the king caught these guys. They called them the thieves, and made them tell them what they were doing. And this actually eradicated the problem. But if you are going somewhere, like especially in an airplane, and smelling this, they have found that this actually will penetrate right through the brain barrier. It's very, very good. Now, essential oils are very strong, so you really cannot, a lot of times, put them right on the body, except the body of the people. But I'm going to pass these two around and smell them. Folks, they have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that our feelings actually produce good or bad and our produce good or bad our body. There's a saying, forgiveness is healing, bitterness is killing. 1 minute of anger weakens our immune system for 4 to 5 hours. But 1 minute of laughter boosts our immune system for over 24 hours. How many of you heard of the man who actually, he came down with cancer and he just laughed? He actually read books to make him laugh, and he laughed and got rid of it. Our feelings, everything, believe it or not, is controlled with the word. There's a man think if he is. If you constantly think, I'm going to be sick, but you say, no, my body can do this. Now this one, the next slide, folks, something today that a lot of people are having problems with is watching certain things on internet. This saying right here, created me a clean heart of God and renew a right spirit within me. King David said this: if you are tempted, or if there's something that you do not want to do, but you're so tempted to do, I guarantee you say that, you will do it. All right, never partake of that which is bad. All right, you said some of those things. All right, let's go to exercise. They have proven that exercise will actually help get rid of depression. It actually works better than any type of drug. First thing in the morning, like I teach a 5:15 cycle class in the morning at the YMCA. And first thing in the morning, people who come and exercise their whole day, the brain, everything works better. And plus, if you wait until the evening, what will happen a lot of times? You won't even go. You think, oh, I'm too tired to exercise. But exercise is great for you. A lot of times, if you're feeling bad and you get out there and exercise, you feel better. Because oxygen, your whole system, the big O is so important. Oxygen, oxygen. You got it? Benefits of working out in the water, and I'll mention that to you, about the moving the third fluid, which is the fluid in between. If you do not know what Tabata is, this is more homework. Look up what Tabata is. I do it with a lot of my classes and love it. Dr. Tabata studied every format of exercise, and he found that everybody and anybody can improve, especially athletes, by doing Tabata. And all it is you work vigorously for 20 seconds, and then 10 seconds you rest. And you've got to get that rest in there. And then you do it 8 times. They have found athletes who could not improve it better by doing this to improve. Everybody knows. All right, sleep. If you are having problems sleeping, take a nice warm bath, and then sometimes finishing off with a cool shower, it will really work. Only when you sleep does the body take the nutrients to the lowest cell. We had a client that came, a patient that came in and went over with his doctor, and I thought, he's doing everything right. Why is he not healing? Because other people were healing, but he wasn't. So my daughter and I put this questionnaire together, which incorporated the 8 laws of health, and I gave it to him, and I found out why he was not doing that. He was going to bed at 4:30 in the morning. I said, you can't do that. You'll die. And the doctor really got on to me and says, do you never tell somebody they'll live in? He said, because that will depress the immune system. But anyway, I told this man, I said, you have got to sleep before midnight. Because that is when the body takes the food to the lowest cell. That's when it does the most healing. Children, everybody's got to have sleep. 7 to 9 hours. If you get more than 9 hours, it actually is not a good thing. But between 7 to 9 hours is very, very good. Work, we need to work to provide for our families, but we don't need to overdo it. All right? Sunlight. It says in the good book, it is good to behold the sun. Do you know there is a doctor that wrote a book, his name is Dr. Kahn, And he actually found, well, before he wrote the book, he wore those glasses, you know, the ones that walk out, you know, you go out, change. And he was sick all the time. And he couldn't figure out what was going on. He just stayed sick all the time. So he went to vacation, and his glasses broke. And he was there for a week with prescription glasses, and he found that he felt great. So he started doing research, and he wrote a book, and it was on sunlight. Sunlight was very, very important. How many of you know what ringworm is? Ringworm, do you know just laying out in the sun 20 minutes a day will get rid of it? The sun is very, very good. Now, when I say look at it, do not wear glasses when you're looking at it. You don't want it magnified. But it is very, very good. You know, if you go to one of these caves, they'll tell you that you cannot stay way back in the cave very long without looking on. We need the sun. And they will tell you that sunlight causes cancer. No, it does not cause cancer. The diet will cause it. And this shows all the boost. There's actually people who actually use the sun to boost their vitamin D, and also to get rid of cancer. And a lot of doctors years ago, when they started saying, well, we're going to have to get people out of the sun because of this and that. I told my children, I said, we're going to have an epidemic of murders. And we did, where the bones start going in. You need the sunlight. The vitamin D they're giving you is not as good as the sun. All right, this is a hidden fact. They actually show when you wear sunglasses, it can actually cause skin cancer because it shuts the brain off. The brain says, wait a minute, it's dark. You're not getting any sun. But you do need sunlight. So basically, the 8 laws of health. I just want to show you a few things real quick. If everybody will stand up for just a minute. Now, when you stand up, and I show this to my clients all the time, when you go, especially if you have been riding a long time, or you've been sitting a long time, your glutes do not fire like they should. So what you do when you first stand up, suck your glutes up, suck your ab in, do that first before you take a step. Because this makes it makes your hamstrings and your glutes start working. Because if you sit for like hour after hour, then these muscles are the ones that are going to try to take over. But if you do that, then you start walking, you'll move. Now, if you are, and let me show you these ones while you're up. You see these arms like this? If you're on the computer a long time, this will actually help to stretch those muscles, and you need to stretch them. And you can also do this and stretch. But, you know, a lot of people get carpals on them, and a lot of people think, well, it's right here in the carpals. It's usually where it walks out here or it walks out there. You know, and sometimes just doing this after you've been on the computer, or what about when you have been looking at a screen a long time? If you close your eyes, and then you open it, and you look out as far as you can. See, your eyes have muscles, and if you just constantly look at something all the time, those muscles will just tighten up like they should. But if then you look this way, that way, up and around, it really, really helps. Now, if you have a small weight near your office where you're working, just up and down, okay? Also, you can do flexing, and then there is, how many of you know what body brushing is? Sometimes just by brushing here, because it starts moving that fluid underneath there, it really helps. Something I want to mention, some people have problems with their teeth, You all need greens. Chlorophyll. It feeds the bodies, it feeds the bones. This thing right here is a lifesaver. If you are at a computer a long time, up and down, like have one in your office, your lymphatic system is like your garbage disposal. The only thing that moves it is your movement. And if you don't move it, then you're going to get clogged up and you don't know. But doing this, moving the arms, and moving this. Now, what's different about this trampoline than most, the V, and the reason I brought it so I could show this to you, there is a V, I'm going to drop it off. This one is like what next today. The springs go in the V, and you want them to be in the V. You don't want them coming straight up. I used to tell the coaches, I said, you guys, those trampolines are going to tear the knees up, but these will not. This will move the lymphatic system, and like if you are jumping on the floor, all your energy goes in the floor. But if you jump on a trampoline, it comes back into you, which is very, very good. They actually have classes, but there was a woman, when I first saw one of these, she could not walk. And they actually had her to get on it, and she could walk. Thank you. Now, if you do not have a trampoline, you can get one of these balls, and I used to have my students to do this. And this one, like she said, I do not have enough area, and I could not find that area. You want it about knee level, but you actually can know how to sit on the phone, but you're going to go up and down. And it's the chicken grip. I had a soccer player in one of my classes. She said, you know, Misty, every winter I have gotten sick except this winter. Every time I thought I was getting sick, I would do that and it would stop. One last thing I want you to do, salt. What type of salt are you using? If you're using the regular table salt, it is not the type that your body can absorb. They actually put it in the keel, they totally mess the chemistry up. If you get what they call real salt, you can get this at a lot of places, Himalaya salt, your body needs salt. This thing about people saying, oh my God, it's going to cause high blood pressure and all this. No, we got to listen. Any questions? Thank you very much for that.